are we live? Are we live? I do not know I'm live because YouTube is not Well, it's a little bit of a challenge today because apparently YouTube decided to sign me out of my Happy Valley Hobbies account and do my normal one. So that is why I'm late. It is also the same reason why right now I cannot see chat on YouTube right now, even though Mystic is holding down the fort. Thank you for doing that. Let's see. Will it show that I am here? It shows Jack is being live and all these other things, but not me. For some reason, Happy Valley Hobbies is not being able to refer to itself, which is annoying. All right, let's see. All right, looks like I'm going to have to search. Oh, that's interesting. Apparently, there's a movie named Happy Valley. Happy Valley Church. Well, I think there is an actual real hobby. All right, there. Doing a search, I actually am able to find it. So now I can turn around.
Real.
Oop, gotta put that on mute. How was my week? Well, my week, it was a short one. No, work-wise anyway. Wound up turning around and hanging out with my sister and brother-in-law in south of Boston, Massachusetts. It's a good 3.5 hour drive, depending on traffic. So, and in doing so, I wasn't able to, I completely forgot to re-drill the holes for the layout. So we're going back to the diorama for a short bit. And then from there, we're right down the road from me. Well, I was in Randolph, so I'm not quite sure how far Randolph is from you. We have this the general agreement that this should become a tradition because I moved here to Vermont just before the pandemic hit, and they bought their new house I think a year before. So this is my first time actually seeing their place. Also met the same cat in Providence. How far is Providence from Randolph? I'm not too familiar with the area, so it's one of those things that going like, I didn't know where I was actually surprised on how close we were to Plymouth Rock. So it was one of those things of on Friday after we had Thanksgiving dinner, we wound up going there. Also, we're thinking the next time going to the Providence Plantation. Probably next year and all that. Because when we got there, there was a massive line for. I'm not familiar with it here for. Good point. All right, fair enough. Yeah, it's going to be a while before I get down to New Orleans. But yeah, I'm assuming that right now there's a. Things are pretty much still recovering from Thanksgiving. Hello there, Rail Artists. Thank you for coming in. You cooking for your wife again? I mean, really? Mac and cheese and fried spand. All right. An hour south of Boston. I get the impression that Randolph is a half an hour. Ooh, It's starting to look like. Oh, wait a second. I'm on Tap Chat. That might be the reason why. It seems that. Let's go to live chat. We'll see what the. I was just looking at it, and I just happened to notice that chat went on YouTube chat, and then all of a sudden it very quickly went on StreamYard chat. So hopefully the lag between chats is a little bit less then. But it was a nice time. Unfortunately, my sister had gotten sick. Yeah. Yeah, we know that you always cook for your wife. Now the question is that if she's feeling well, does she cook for you? Actually, I did not do any of the cooking. My sister did 95% of it. My brother-in-law, he built, he cooked the two. He did dessert. She did the actual the dinner itself. I did wind up bringing some stuff that's locally made here to bring over there occasionally. That's good. It's good to know that it's not all one-sided, but that's just my opinion. Sometimes there are some people that are out there being that one person doing the other thing, and that's how they do things. I believe it's more as a team effort. But how that team comes together in different ways. Now I'm assuming I'm okay. I was not able to double check my mic, just making sure I was on the right mic. So I'm assuming I'm okay. It's okay. Oh, hello there, Rick. Thank you for coming. Yeah, Rick. Yeah. A little. So who is on this evening, Rick? It's one of those things I probably should, take a 3x5 card and actually write down who is on. You were last week, if I remember correctly. So I'm assuming Ray is tonight. Because, yeah, John's the first one, then Nissy, then you, then Ray, if I'm remembering correctly. But it's been a very interesting. It was an interesting week. Got out of the house and all that. Of course, unfortunately, my sister had gotten sick, so Saturday night plans were canceled, and so I wound up getting here, leaving early, and that's probably a thing to remember next year, because if we wind up doing something on Saturday, I probably can't get home in time for Thursday. Okay, that sounds like a good plan, Real Artist. But now the question is, Real Artist, did you ever go to the CIA? Hello there, Dwight. Thank you for coming in. For a short time, my sister and future son-in-law was got the cookie. Well, that's one of the things I was wondering. You were talking about cookies earlier, Mystic, so I was wondering if you brought enough for everyone. But Real Artist probably cooked his own. But yeah, it was a interesting. It was an interesting weekend. The only disadvantage is that, as much as I love my sister and brother-in-law, they have a tendency to eat out a lot, at not so cheap places. I mean, the food's fantastic, but it's like, my wallet hurts afterwards. But it's also nice to. Gotcha. Minnesota. Gotcha. Yeah, I was actually surprised to figure out there was a short time that they lived very near to the CIA. Now, for those who are wondering, it's the CIA I'm talking about is not the Central Intelligence Agency. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the actual acronym. The Culinary International. Oh, I forgot exactly what it was. Culinary Institute of America. I forgot the F or the of. Thank you, Rail Artist. And it's one of the interesting things is that the food there is nice, but it's also not expensive as you think, because they're teaching chefs on how to be chefs and all that. So it's one of those things, instead of the food being spoiled or anything like that, you wind up they have it more as the food is cooked, and then it's like there's a possibility of it not going fully well. So the prices are a little bit prices can be a little bit less than before they graduate and become real certified chefs. But for this evening, because I wasn't since I was not here home, I did not do the modifications that I needed to do with the modifications I needed to do. So I'm going to swing back to doing the diorama for this evening. Okay. Now to go, click on this. And click on that. And we are there. Yeah, I'm still slowly getting things back to the way they were, mostly. Things like all the stickers and all that, but the reason why I don't have the stickers here is because we're still moving things around. So one of the things tonight is to sort of figure out how to put this on here. It's like it's one of those things that, do I want it back a little bit or a little bit forward, or starting to think maybe have it back here. So this would be the front. You'd be seeing most of it. We'll go here. The thing is, there's a massive gap in between. This is sort of sloping down, so there's a massive gap here. Trying to figure out where. Yeah, this is all sloping down a little bit. So, got to figure out a way to add some stuff under there to keep it mostly flat. Also turn around and you can't see, it's way out of the camera range, but yeah, this side right here is still, this is not solidified and hard yet. So let's say we add some water. That's not that direction. This is supposed to have a... Okay. That's why that's not working. There's a... All right, well, I can't pull that one out. So let's say I get 3 of these. So let's pull one out. Let's see if we can take a dry one out. This is not going... All right, this is... Things I don't have a pin to push this thing out. I did not realize that they had... I mean, it makes no sense of having these things in here. But they must have thought it was a good idea to put seals. All right, punctured it. Now it's coming out. There we go. Finally get it out. All right. So now we have it so we can... Yeah, these are like... I mean, they're squeezer bottles, but they're not designed for squeezing water. They're designed for squeezing paste and stuff like that. So let's start moving this around. All right. Let's not go too much. Now, I should put scissors aside. Where did I put scissors? Are they close enough? I would say rail artists definitely trestles and bridges, especially on modular layouts, are set up that way. I think ones that have yes, absolutely. 2 foot 2 foot deep limitation is a... I mean, I only have one, but I think ones in home layouts, they have the ability to have it slightly askew. But they still usually... the bridge is usually perpendicular to the to whatever the quote stream is. I think unless somebody's doing a specific prototype bridge, which is sometimes is angled. That's when you would see an angled bridge. But yeah, I've had contemplating on making this one slightly askewed and all that, but then realizing that, I don't feel confident in my skill at this point for that. Yeah, it's definitely an observation, rail artist. I think we as humans have a tendency to make things 90-degree angles. And if there's something that's not 90-degree angles, it looks off, even though it might be what nature is. Another thing I gotta see about doing is trimming this off to make it 90 degrees, and also have it fit fit the layout. All right, because these ends here on both ends are they're still sort of kind of solid. So, all right. Scissors. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for scissors. Scissors. Aha! I have found scissors. Not the scissors I was looking for, but they are scissors. These are actually more like shears, because I believe these were when I was gardening for a while. Long before I came to Vermont, I tried my hand at gardening. All right, let's see. Let's say we wrap it around here. Yeah, that'll work. Turn it around, get it relatively close. All right. I might need more. All right, this one, we're going around the back here. Let's see, around the back. And I know a lot of people, when they try to do a base layer, they try to make it as nice as possible. But the thing is, the base layer is the layer that you can make the most mistakes on. Because usually the base layer, you can bury it under all sorts of setups. All right. Yeah, I probably need a lot more water than that, but I did not come fully prepared this week. Yeah, I had this feeling that Rick just pops in, says hi, and then disappears because of the algorithm, which is highly appreciated. I think it would also be a little bit nicer to hang out for a bit. All right, that's should take care of the top. Yeah, let that take care of that. But I'm assuming everyone had a good holiday. As I explained before, I pretty much did. Well, I would have to say the planned things were very nice. The unplanned, some of the plans that were unplanned, not so much. Like my sister getting ill. All right. So we got this mostly tagged down. Let's put this over here. Let's see about possibly flattening that a little bit. Yeah, this might wind up putting some something in here to flatten this out. Might be time for another time. A bit for another time. I'll make this. We need to flip it over. I'll sort of do this here to sort of get everything a little bit more glued together. Running out of water. And this. I'm going to have to quickly run and grab more water. Sort of get the plaster to stick to the wood. Put it upright so it doesn't roll around. I would add, I'm sort of kind of curious on how everybody's Thanksgiving was, especially the ones that recently celebrated in the U.S. or earlier this year for people who are from Canada. Going to be grabbing more water. I'll be right back. So chat amongst yourselves. All right. Well, that was quick because YouTube is showing that I just left, which in reality is obviously slightly delayed. I probably should add at least something over here to at least keep the consistency of the ground. So let me slice off another part. All right. Unfortunately, one thing is that, I know a lot of stuff about different trains and all that, but when it comes to specifics in, say, in the Boston area, I'm not as well versed. So there could have been some train stuff we could have gone to if I had realized what they were. All right, so bring that down to there. All right, that'll work that way. And then we'll add another slab this way. I don't have to go that far though. One of the things I did reintroduce my brother-in-law was into winter garden. This is a someone that built a well, they call it a marble machine, and basically it's a machine that uses marbles to play an instrument. I guess they went viral, if I remember correctly, just before the pandemic. I forgot exactly how close to the pandemic he went viral, but been watching him during the pandemic because building a new machine, one that he was hoping to be more reliable and play tighter music and a lot of other details that I don't quite understand because I'm not a musician. This is going to look a lot more water. Move this up so it actually connects to the wood. And goes there. Well, I think I missed a strip here, but oh well, close enough. All right, let's flip this over this direction so we get a better connection on this side. Which technically is missing a strip here, but Yeah, I need definitely a lot more water. Good thing the sink is not that far away. But my sister actually started a YouTube channel more than I did. Well, it's very worth it that you're back, Rail Artist. Especially if I happen to look at the chat a little bit easier. But yeah, my sister actually started a YouTube channel before I did. She started, if I remember correctly, just before the pandemic hit. Before there was even a hint or before the virus actually became a thing. But it was basically after she got married, she sort of stopped doing it, and I get the impression she was sort of like what I did. It's like she was all gung ho and enthusiastic, and then got married, and then went to work and sort of stopped doing it. But she may restart up again. I wasn't really hiding it from my sister and brother-in-law. It's just that never really came up. And it'd be sort of a nice thing and all that, and they would be very supportive, but they're also it's one of those things of we learned years ago. It's like I do, she does her thing and I do mine, and it rarely there is very little overlap from what she likes and what I like. For instance, I'm more into model trains and stuff like that, and she's more into science fiction or fiction, or fantasy fiction, I should say. We both like science fiction, so there's where some of the crossover comes along. We both like history, but the time frames that we like are different. She was more medieval era, and I'm more industrial revolution era. So it's one of those things of we can both appreciate that we like history, but we also understand that we like different parts of the history. I think I'm a lot more towards the actual mechanisms and stuff like that. Uh, I'm, I hang out with the Civil War group, not necessarily because of the Civil Wars and the stories behind those, but more of how what the technology was at that time. What did they use for signaling? What did they use? Even though can't really see the valve gear inside geared valve gear locomotive. It's one of those things of what was being used at that time, because a lot of people, it's Stevenson, because it's inside. It's like there was more than just Stevenson valve mechanisms that were on the inside. All right, let's see. That is sort of, yeah, we don't need that big of a piece. Cut another one. For over here. Yeah, that'll work. And then sort of fold it over here. And then put water on this, which would make it loose, so it'll then fold over. All right, let's bring this up here so that we can this is more for, these bottles are a little bit more for, I want to say cake decorating, so you can, actually write with whatever we have on the inside here. It's not quite ready for what I'm using it for right now. Okay. Well, my thought process is if I still haven't gotten to the layout, I'll probably wind up painting this a base coat of paint. And get this ready for a and start that direction of getting it ready for the base coat and all that, figuring out where, who, why, and all that fun stuff. Remember to trim these things off, and etc. But right now, I think I'm to the drying phase again. Trying to make it relatively flat. One thing I probably should do is get a hold of a level, and at least, or above a level, to figure out, if how close it is to being actually level. All right. So this is going to require a bunch of paper there. What was that? Not quite sure what that was, but all right. You see, if you put a shim or shims actually underneath here. I want to go 2 nuts. I could probably have it come to here because we still have to have an abutment there for the bridge. How far would the abutment be? Alright, I had the bridge here. So let's see. This bridge abutment sort of like in the middle of this. So that means the bridge abutment has to stop before this, which puts it right here. All right, well, let's see. Not quite sure where the glue is right this second. However, I do have some glue that is watered down, but it's still glue. And we'll get it at least started. Yeah, we'll use that as a placeholder for next time. Yeah, I still have to find, where glue and what the appropriate stuff is and all that fun stuff. All right. Now, switch over cameras. Have a shaky camera while I'm changing cameras and putting down the I guess it's blue screen. And back to this camera. And here we are. So, but yeah, it looks like I started slightly earlier. So, probably a good idea to maybe end a little bit earlier than I, have been. Basically give people an extra break before the main event, which I still believe is Rainbow Bell, I believe, is tonight. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can actually double check. Okay, refresh. Okay. Yes, it is. It is Rainbow Bell. Apparently, they got 6 people waiting already. Yep. Thank you, Charlie. Of course, I see that after I do the things. All right. What is the notifications? Oh, the premiere last time, and apparently I also have a new subscriber, Dwayne Superior Junction Railway, Dwayne Miller. Well, thank you for subscribing. Wait a second. It's not what I wanted. Okay, that's for later. There we go. So I think I got everything back the way it was. It was very odd this time because of the it was very bizarre because it somehow, for some odd reason, logged me out of YouTube. Logged me out of the Happy Valley Hobbies channel and had my own personal one, which it only has one subscriber. So it's it would have been but yeah, all right. So I guess it would be time to wander over to Ray Bobel's channel for those who are interested. Yeah, it's I would have to say this weekend, because of all the running around and all that, it was tiring because didn't take as many naps as I used to or usually do, which unfortunately is the case. But well, thank you, Dwight. I do my best to entertain, and apparently there are people that think I am entertaining, so that's a good win. But that's interesting. Oh, Trackside Mike, thank you for coming in. I have been asking people how their Thanksgiving was, but if you want to relay it how it was a month earlier. But yeah, I'm getting ready to pretty much shut down right now and join everybody at Ray Bobel's stream. That's the reason why I picked 6:45 to 7:45 was to sort of like be the precursor of Sidetrack Sunday. And the reason why I offset it 15 minutes, so people can turn around and do what they have to do, get up, stretch, instead of sitting in a chair the entire time. So on that note, I think the world needs more love. Tonight I was working on the diorama because I didn't get the holes drilled that I needed to get done because of this week. Thanksgiving was here, so it was a short week at work, and also I wound up hanging out with my sister and brother-in-law in south of Boston. So wasn't able to get the holes drilled so I can turn around and do everything appropriately. I had a pretty good Thanksgiving on the things that were planned. Some of the things that I didn't get that weren't planned, like my sister getting sick, not so much. But I enjoyed it. We have the three of us at Source have said that we should make this as a tradition, because we haven't had traditions for a while. But speaking of traditions, basically I'll see everyone at Ray's channel, Ray Bobel's channel, and I think the world needs more love. So Find your passion, add some silliness to it, and spread it around. Bye.